everyone, it's Lynette with Charm Grammy Crochet. How you doing today? Not in the yarn room today. I'm in the living room in my recliner. Don't have my feet up because then you wouldn't be able to see me in this video. But I am here with my potato chips. And I want to welcome you all to this video. Welcome to my channel. My channel is about mostly crochet. It's going to be about crocheting and RVing very soon. There is a little RVing in it. I mean, you know, already. But let me just try to rearrange and get more comfortable. Let's see what we can do. Okay, there we go. That's a little better. So, in a couple of months, the beginning of February, we'll be heading out. We've sold our home and we're going to RV, and I plan on going to a lot of little yarn stores along our RVing routes. That's the plan. I hope that works out. But I do crochet. I crochet quite a bit. Well, not lately. The crochet has been, we're moving. We've lived in this house 35 years. It's a lot. It's a lot to go through. It's a lot of memories. It's a whole lot. So, but I have crocheted. And so I want to show you what I'm working on in this video, what I've completed, what I'm still working on. And then I've had both of my knees replaced in the last 4 months. As of the 9th, it was 4 months for the first knee. And I am getting a lot of questions about my recovery from people who are also having knee replacement, or who are thinking of knee replacement, or who have had knee replacement. So I thought that at the end of this video, after I show you my projects, I would do some talk about my personal recovery. If you have questions, feel free to email me about it. If you don't want to listen to it, totally get that. When my husband had both of his knees replaced, my first one was 3 or 4 months after his second one. Well, in the last year, in 1 year, we had all 4 done. From October to October, all 4 of our knees were done. So I feel like I'm kind of an expert on recovery of knee surgery, but I'm not really, because every day it brings something new. But anyway, let's talk about crochet first. And I'm going to say, if you are recovering from knee surgery, your recliner is your favorite place to be. Oh, I didn't finish this all the way. I thought I had. So I am doing with my friends, started the shenanigans. Who started the shenanigans was Laura at Man Mimi's Crochet and Farming. And we are doing a year of dishcloths. So there's 52 dishcloths in this book by Annie's. You can get it through Annie's, or you can get it on, I know you can get it on Amazon. That's where I got mine. And there are 52 washcloths in here, and they are divided up by seasons. So we started with the winter ones. We started in the fall, hoping that they would be done by Christmas. We started a little bit too late to get them all done by Christmas, 1 a week. So Laura has given us permission. Oh, I guess I'm going to need to show you. Laura has given us permission to crochet ahead if you wanted to give these as gifts. I'm giving them as gifts. My daughter and I are giving them as gifts, apparently. And so I'm not showing you all of them. I don't even have all of them right here with me. I only have the one that I have done this past week. They don't take long. Some of the patterns, I am not the greatest pattern reader in the whole world, but the patterns aren't very difficult, I don't think. But they're not always 100% accurate. So sometimes you kind of have to wing it, I guess would be a good way to go. I haven't found too much difficulty, but I have heard others saying they, I guess a lot of them are made in squares or circles, and I've done enough like granny square type squares and enough circles to be able to wing it pretty good. So this one is the scrubby. And I will show you for this week. The scrubby is to look like that. And you are supposed to put an actual scrubby like that you buy at the Dollar Tree in the middle of this and crochet around it and or sew it in or whatever. I didn't have a scrubby. I wasn't going to go looking for a scrubby just because I just started driving again and the weather has been bad and I don't want to walk on slippery roads, slippery sidewalks, wet tile floors. They don't work well with rubber, with a rubber cane. And so I've been opting to not go to the store unless I can ride in a cart. But the weather did get better, but I had already we had a snowstorm and I was going out looking for a scrubby in a snowstorm. But I used, oh, I guess I should show you. I knew I left this up here for a reason. I had this a scrubby yarn, and I believe this is Premier Washi or something like that it's called. And in red, and I have sugar and cream, just your regular old kitchen cotton. And I held these two together because this washi yarn on your fingers running through by itself is a little tough on your skin. So I didn't want to just use that. So for the center, that's supposed to be the scrubby part, where you would actually just buy the scrubby, I used these two, held them together. I still only used a 6, I think I used a 6mm hook. So this washcloth got really big. And the pattern says you start with a chain of like 36, and then that's what you're going to cinch around or sew to the scrubby that you purchased at the store. Well, I didn't do that. I crocheted a circle and made it 36 stitches around, and then went on with the pattern from there. And I used, this is also sugar and cream in red, green, this Christmas one, which is called Mistletoe. Oh, what happened to my light? There we go. Okay, so this one's called Mistletoe. So I used that. It was a new skein. This is how much is gone. Gosh, I got to get up closer, or else you don't have any light. There you go. So there's that. That's how much of that I used, and I forgot to weave in the ends. So no judgments here. This is what it looks like. So this part is scrubby. It's flat. But you could really wash up a dish with that, I think, really good. Get some, scrubbiness out of it. I got an itchy nose. And so that's that project. And it's done. I kind of like it. And I think, you could scrub a dish with that for sure. I just got to weave in the ends. I put it away like 2 days ago. Forgot that I didn't weave in the ends. So I'll do that after the video. So I finished the scarf and hat for Chloe and her boyfriend. And they turned out adorable. That was in the last video. And I did not get a picture of the two of them together wearing their hats. It just didn't seem like the thing to do. So I didn't. But we loved him, and we had a great meal and a great time. We played games, and we had fun. We watched sports on TV, and it was a great success. So I finished those. So I'm doing and now I need to work on the cat's meow, right? I mean, I know I took a sidetrack trying to get some whips caught up, but I'm really not into the cat's meow. I don't know why. I'm like halfway done, and if I just sit down for a few evenings, I'm sure I can finish it. By the time I sit down, I'm tired and I don't want to think that hard. I think that's the problem. And I'm on jury duty. I'm on roll call for jury duty this week. So I called on Friday night to see if I have to arrive on Monday, and they said no. I called Monday night to see if I have to arrive on Tuesday, and my number has not yet been called. I have to call today after 4:30, and they're going to call my number. It's supposed to snow again tomorrow morning. I'm like, oh God, now I got to go through the snow and the sleet, um, which I really wanted to avoid because of my knee. But I didn't ask for a handicap sticker. I did not ask my doctors to get me out of it because in the county that I live in, they just postpone you 3 months. Well, in 3 months, I won't be here and I won't have a house. But my mailing address and my driver's license are still in this county. So I will be like legally responsible to show up for jury duty then. And I plan on being in Florida in 3 months delivering boggy blankets. So, um, so I'm going to tough it out and just cross your fingers for me that the weather isn't so bad and I'm not slipping on ice. Um, I think I can do fine. I don't use my cane in the house anymore, but I will take the cane with me. I was thinking I might even just take a walker so that I have 4 things to hold me up if it's slippery. But I don't know how good a walker is in slush or ice either. So I'm not going to stress over it. It'll be fine. But the whole jury duty thing says I need to take something when you're sitting in the room waiting for a roll call that I can just do easy and quick. And I can't come up with anything. Something I don't need a pattern for, just like really repetitive, but I can get it done. So I think I might end up grabbing some yarn and making Amanda a hat and scarf that matches Chloe's. Different yarn, but solid color gray or something like that because she really loved Chloe's hat and scarf. And Chloe threatened her, you're not allowed to steal it from me. So I might just do that because I can do the pattern without thinking and it's not like a big project bag. But in going through looking for out of some of my whips, what can I take? Everything that I have that's a whip is something you need to think about. Or it's big and none of them are working for what I want to do, to take. I don't want to carry a big bag. I want something that can be in a small bag. And I think I'm going to take a lunch. I know I'm going to get called because they're calling numbers. Last night was through 828 or something like that. And I'm 864. So, I'm like 25 numbers away from where they ended last night's call. So I know I'll be in the next group of a couple of hundred. So hopefully I'll only have to be there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or maybe just Wednesday, Thursday, and they won't call you back on Friday if you haven't been, selected for a jury. And I don't even mind jury duty, to be honest with you. I've been on jury duty 3 or 4 times, and I think this is the 4th time. One time I was never called, but you had to sit in the room for 5 days. And the other 2 times I got on trials, so that was kind of cool. And I really did enjoy the whole process and seeing it work. I just really don't want to do it this time. It's just not fitting into my life schedule very well. Even though I'm not working right now, it's the whole going downtown in the snow and I'm trying to pack my house. I got 6 weeks, So anyway, when I was looking for something to work on, I found this cardigan that I had been making in the spring. I don't know if you guys remember it. If you've been around a while, I'm sure you saw it in the spring. If you're new, you've probably never seen it. But I was working on this cardigan. It started with Crochet ADHD, and she was doing something with granny squares, and so I just started making granny squares. Well, then I was having fun with these granny squares. I think this is mostly all, I love this yarn, but I'll look at it. So I put together the cardigan part, the body of it, and I did the collar of it, and I used the stitch on the collar. I had made my granddaughter a sweater, and the sweater had a connected double crochet, and I did that stitch here for the collar and the ribbing around, and I loved it. I just think that's adorable. And now, so what I have left is the sleeves, and if I want to make it longer, any trim at the bottom or make it longer at the bottom, because it's usually, I make dusters all the time. I like long sweaters. This one that I have on is a duster. But when I was making this, it's really heavy, so I was thinking, gosh, maybe I need to make it a short, more croppy, but it still needs to mostly cover my rear end, because we got to hide that thing. So I just was doing the arm in just the granny stitch around and around, and when I connect, I slip stitch, chain one, turn my work and go back the other way. And it looks big, but when I put it on, it doesn't. When I put it on, I don't have a whole, there's just enough. It's not overly big. At least it doesn't feel that way now, but it's not long enough to like come around. Like this one's only a 3/4 sleeve. I'm gonna make this a long sleeve all the way, but I'm gonna do ribbing so I can fold it up. I think like this one I just ended with a single crochet around the edge because I just wanted 3/4 length, and I do roll it sometimes if it's still too long, but like, if you're doing dishes or whatever, a long sleeve can be in the way if it's open like this one is. And I didn't want, this is a light yarn, this is a skinny cake, and it's lightweight, and so it's not like, it's warm enough that in the wintertime it's keeping me warm here in the house. But like on a cold fall day, on a cold day, it's not going to keep me warm like this one will keep me warm. On a cold, when it's like probably 50, this one will be maybe because it's got holes and stuff. If there's a chilly breeze to the air, this one I think I'll be cold in at the 3-weight DK yarn. This one, it's got holes in it too, but it's heavy. It'll keep me warm probably even if it's just above freezing. I think I could like run outside and grab the mail and not freeze to death in this. But we'll see. So what am I using? This is, let me grab my big huge bag. And this is not something I'm taking downtown, because it's in this big huge moose bag or cow bag that I got from Nancy from She's Got Yarn. So the variegated white is loops and threads. This was the carousel twist yarn. I still have one of these left. The this yarn is in here. It is this, I love this yarn, stone washed. And this color, I think you can still get this. This color is deep violet. Oh, there you go. There, now you can see. And then the purple, the solid purple, is mixed berry. Also, I love this yarn. And so you get a lot of purples. I didn't tell you what color this way was. I don't know if you can get this yarn anymore. It says color, just gives you a number, CL5. Oh, birthday cake is the color of this. And I like it with all the colors in there. I have used I keep all the ball bands in my bags until I am done with the project, so I know how much I used. So I have a half a skein of the stone washed that I have not used yet. And I have a half a skein of the grape the solid grape that I'm still using. I have more unused skeins, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 skeins of yarn so far that are completely done, and 2 that I'm still working on. I don't need that clip on that thing anymore. So that's that's where I'm at with this. When I've known it's over there in my whip section, and I'm like, you know what? I want to finish that because it would be nice to have it done, and I can wear it in the car. When we leave here, it's going to be cold. It'll be February when we leave Ohio. It should be cold in February in Ohio. So we're going to take off, and this would be nice if I could wear this in the car. And you know, if I need something warmer, but like to go in and out to a, rest area or whatever, I think this will be plenty warm, and hopefully not too bulky, because I don't like to have bulky stuff on in the car, but I'll take it off too. It'll be warm in the car, and probably, not wear a coat at all if I have on like a sweatshirt or something. Clothing is going to be an issue for us. We have a lot of clothes that we're trying to get rid of because we plan on not being in any really, really cold temperatures anymore after February for the rest of our lives, hopefully. Chilly temperatures, okay, but really, really cold, we don't want to be there. So that's where I'm at with my yarn. And I do think that I will probably crochet Amanda a scarf. She would love it in black, but I'm not doing that. Because I don't see it well enough. But maybe gray. I have some real pretty grays, so maybe gray. And that's what I'll take if I get called. If I get called for jury duty tomorrow, I'll probably work on a scarf for her in that stitch. The braided wheat stitch, I think is what it's called, by Brianna K. So that's all I have to talk to you about yarn and crochet. It is 20 minutes into this video, and I am really sorry that I talked so long on. Oh, I'm not. I mean, I love talking about yarn, but everything else that I talked about, and I'm already 20 minutes in. But if you don't want to hear about the recovery and the surgeries and all of that, I know I've talked about it a lot, but I get a lot of questions. So I thought, well, let me give you guys just a brief what happens. You go in, and my knees were both done laser, and my doctor was fabulous. I love him. My husband, his first knee is a year, and he doesn't ever complain about that knee whatsoever, and he walks 20,000 steps a day. I mean, that man just walks his butt off all day long, and he never complains about that knee. Now his second knee was done in March, August, September, October, November, December. Yeah, his second knee was December, January, February. Yeah, March. So he was 5 months out of the first knee when he had the second knee done, and that knee is almost a year out. And he very rarely complains about any pain or stiffness in that knee. But since the weather has gotten colder, he does say that it gets stiff. And him and I both experienced this. I don't experience it now. I'm 4 months out from the first knee surgery. If I stand for a few minutes, my leg gets stiff like that. My first surgical leg, which is my right leg, is pretty good. It doesn't get stiff in a couple of minutes. My left leg is about 5 to 6 weeks out and it stiffens in, like, 2 minutes that you brush your teeth. My toothbrush I have an electric toothbrush. It times you, it vibrates for 2 minutes. By the time I'm done brushing my teeth, my leg is stiff and I can barely bend it. It's not a painful thing, but you feel like your leg is like a log and it doesn't want to move. That's the way I would describe it. Now they say, my doctor and my therapist, physical therapist, I've put my body through a lot in the last 4 months because I've done both knees, knee surgery, knee replacement, full replacement is a major surgery. I personally did not watch the videos on what they do because honest to God, I did not want to know. And now that I've like done with both surgeries, they, I'm glad I didn't know. I even after the first surgery, I didn't want to like I know they're taking everything apart and they're literally lasering off your legs and putting them back together. Um, my first surgery, um, I did not get as much pain as I've had on the second surgery. And they give you a nerve block before they take you out of the anesthetic. And that nerve block lasts, for me and my husband, it was like the second day after surgery. I came home, my husband came home the day of surgery both times. So the next day you're still pretty loopy, but then at some point that nerve block wears off. And that is the most painful day. The first knee, I thought, oh, this ain't so bad. I could hardly put weight on it, but I could put weight on it. It hurt real bad, but it wasn't the worst. My husband, when his nerve block wore off, now his surgeries were first, and I know mine are coming up. We had to get all these done this year so that we could retire in January. Because once we retire, his medical insurance is gone, and that's who carries our medical insurance. So he went through the nerve block wearing off, and it's literally 10 steps from the recovery chair, which was upstairs, this chair that I'm sitting in, to the toilet. Is literally like 10 steps, and I didn't think he could make it. He was leaning on that walker so much, his body was trembling, trying to put weight on his leg, and he couldn't. He could not put weight on that leg. He was in so much pain. I was like crying for him. And I thought, oh my God, if this is what it's going to be like after that nerve block wears off, there is no way I'm getting my knees done. Because I don't think I could carry myself the way he is trying to carry himself. He's way stronger than I am. I'm a wuss. And you know, I'm like, there's no way. I'm canceling that. I'm not doing that at all. That lasted like 12 hours or less that he was in that great amount of pain. The next day, he quit taking all medication. He went from he could barely move to no medications at all. He didn't take the narcotics anymore that they were giving him. He wasn't taking even the Tylenol, acetaminophen. They don't allow, my doctor, I don't know if this is what all doctors do, but my doctor does not allow you to take ibuprofen until you've gone for your follow-up. Ibuprofen helps with swelling. The stiffness comes from swelling. The pain that my husband was going through was just pain. I mean, they literally, remove bone tissue, and then they put a spike in your, the prosthesis that they glue and cement and hammer into your leg. They've moved all your bones and muscles and tendons, and so all that stuff swells and has to now heal. So you move your leg and you've got stitches in all those pieces, parts. It hurts. I mean, don't get me wrong, it hurts like really bad. But literally the day after the nerve block wore off, within 12 hours, my husband was taking no medications whatsoever for pain. And I'm like, oh, well, I can do this for 12 hours. Well, then I had my knees done and the first knee done. And I mean, I'm like, this ain't bad. And I could literally walk. I walked way better than he did. The second knee, not nearly the same. When I had my second knee done, his second knee was better. He wasn't in as much pain. And he was attributing it a lot to the fact that he knew what to expect. And we kept him dosed better with the narcotics, knowing that the nerve block is going to wear off and he's going to be in a lot of pain. So we medicated him better, and we were more prepared for what pain he was going to be in. and the second leg was way better for him. So if you're going to get knee surgery, you take all them drugs until after that nerve block wears off. You'll be in way better shape. Um, I knew, I mean, my first leg was like, I quit taking the narcotics. I mean, it wasn't even bad. Um, I was so shocked at how little pain I had. I mean, it hurt. I mean, there was pain, but it wasn't anything like what my husband experienced with his when his nerve blocks wore off. The second leg, the one that I'm recovering from now, the pain was so great when that nerve block wore off, it would make me nauseous. Um, and I'm like, I thought I was going to be stuck on my way to the bathroom. I can't get out of here. I can't get in there. I can't out. I like just to move it an inch was the most incredible pain. Right up there with natural childbirth. I mean, not quite that bad, but at least with childbirth, the pain goes away immediately, and the contraction lasts a minute, and then you're good. This was really, really bad. I'm not gonna lie, but again, it lasted like less than 12 hours. So, um, after about 12 hours, I quit taking the narcotics. I took them. I went from taking 2 because we knew that this pain was coming. I went from taking 2 to taking 1, and I did that for a day because I was scared if the pain came back. I knew it shouldn't, but I'm like, oh, I can't. It was hard to deal with that pain, but that was the worst. So all in all, 12 hours of really severe pain isn't so bad. When you're looking at the rest of your life of being able to walk up and down stairs and that kind of thing. But it does take a year to recuperate. The closer you have your knees done, if you have to have them both done, the closer you have them done together, the longer the recuperation period is going to take. Just because your body gets a major surgery and it goes through a lot. So do I have pain? Every day. Am I tired of having pain? Every day, yes. But I had pain every day prior to having knee surgery. My first knee rarely gets stiff. My second knee rarely is not stiff. But like I said, it's only 6 weeks out and it's the second one. And my body is reacting to this one differently. I'm not sad that I had it done. I can walk up the stairs using both of my legs. I haven't done that in 10 years. I can't walk down using both legs yet. The left knee is still too stiff. It won't bend as far as I need it to bend to go down the stairs. I have done a step or two, and I'm like, that was wrong. Don't do that again. Like, I try. My stairs are too deep. If it's a curb and it's, 2 or 3 inches, I can do that. My stairs are more like 6 inches, and I can't do that. The doctors want you at 4 weeks after surgery. They want you to be able to make your leg completely flat at 0 degrees and bend at 90. My leg will not go completely flat, my newest one. But it was not completely flat prior to the surgery. So maybe that's just not the way my body is built. They did get it flat during surgery, but it was not completely flat beforehand. So I should not necessarily expect, if it doesn't go completely flat after surgery, it's not that big a deal. My first leg does go completely flat. I can bend the second leg at 90 degrees. 95 is as far as I've gotten it. It's very stiff. It does not want to cooperate. I do my exercises. I bend it all the time. And I do the flattening exercises, which are more painful than the bending exercises. It's just not ready yet. It's still too swollen. I am taking a regimen of ibuprofen every day, and I find that that really helps with the swelling. But sometimes the cold weather makes a big difference too. Now, someone said if the barometer is 30 and under, you're going to have more stiffness. The barometer is higher than that, you're going to have less stiffness. So and with the first knee, I was stiff for at least 2 months. And that's just how it is. There's swelling going on in there, and the swelling makes you stiff. I have more swelling at the back of my legs than I do at the front. But on this leg, I have more, the stiffness is both front and back, or discomfort. There's a clicking sometimes, I feel like a crunching or a clicking inside my knee. I'm like, what's that about? And the therapist says that's scar tissue, and that'll go away. My incision is not completely healed yet, even though it's been 5 to 6 weeks. So we know we're still healing. We know scar tissue is still building up. So I do some like massaging. I massage the other leg on the scar tissue because the scar gets stiff for me. Now, my husband did not ever experience that, but it does on mine. I can feel like you pull against the scar tissue when I bend my leg. I cannot bend my first leg yet as far as I could prior to surgery, but I work on it, and eventually it'll come. But they don't want you to exercise to the point that it's painful. They want the good stretch that you get, oh, that feels so good. Not, oh, that hurts me stretch. And with my left knee, it starts to hurt really soon. But he did say it's just a lot of swelling still. So hopefully with the ibuprofen regimen, that really made a big difference on my first leg. So I've been like every 4 hours, only 2. So prior to surgery, on days that I worked, I was taking 4 or more, at least 4 ibuprofen and 2 acetaminophen the ibuprofen every 4 hours, the acetaminophen every 6 hours. So I would like take before I went to work, then halfway through the day, then on my way home. Then I would take it again at night because now my legs are throbbing, and I did that every day that I worked. If I was doing a lot of walking, I did that, or standing. And so doing it now and only taking 2 pills is way better than what I was doing prior to surgery. So it's a slow recovery process. Like, I'm not expecting to be able to climb Mount Rushmore anytime soon. I do wake up in the night with pain in my leg, but only one, not both. And that's an improvement over prior to surgery. Everything is better. I don't generally have throbbing pain anymore. But if I sit with my legs down for quite a while, like a couple hours, then I really need to put them up. I should ice them at least the left one needs to be iced. I should ice it like every couple times a day, 3 times a day. And I generally don't because it makes me so cold now that the weather has gotten bad. I'm like, oh God, I'm freezing. I can't put ice on it for 20 minutes. By the time it starts to take effect, I'm an ice cube. And I'm like, oh, no. So I've been slacking on that, and I know that will help. But I really have been slacking. When the weather got colder, I'm like, no ice. I can't do ice. Give me more ibuprofen. No ice. And, just you have to work your therapy, and you have to give yourself, as my good friend Lynanne says, give yourself some grace, because it takes a year. Your body needs to accept that prosthetic leg or pieces And the healing process really does take a year. Roy has been probably 3 months, so he's a year. As of October, he was a year on the first leg. And he was probably, after 9 months, he didn't ever complain about pain. But the first day he went back to work, he didn't go back to work for 3 months after the first surgery. And he walked 17,000 steps that day. And I thought, oh my God, you have to be in so much pain. And he said that leg did not hurt him at all. So that was very encouraging for me, and that was after 3 months. I couldn't walk 17,000 steps now, or probably ever, because I just lead a way more sediment lifestyle. But maybe one day, within a year, hopefully, we want to be able to walk the national parks. And I don't need to do mountain climbing, but, walk a trail. And in July, we went to Myrtle Beach. Our condo was 2 blocks from the pier. And walking to the pier, I had to sit down and let my back and knees rest for a couple of minutes. My gait was getting so far off from babying my knees that it hurts my back. When I walk any length of time, my back still hurts on my left side, but I'm still babying that leg. My right side, my back does not hurt when I walk anymore, and that's 4 months. So, but it did hurt in July. My whole back, I'm like, oh God, I can't walk another step unless I rest my back for a minute. I have a normal gait on my right side, and I can walk, and my back doesn't hurt, and my knee doesn't hurt. So if you're going through this, or you're thinking of going through this, don't think that you're going to get that surgery done and you're going to be great in a day or two. It's going to take you some time. But I think it's worth it. Work your therapy as best you can, and give yourself some grace and allow yourself to heal. So again, that's my journey on this knee surgery. Am I glad that I did it? Yes. I will emphatically say yes. I'm glad that I had the surgery. I can do every day something more than I could do the day before. I could do something more with less pain, or I could just do something more. Like I said, I don't use my cane in the house. Very rarely anymore. Sometimes when I get up from sitting, my legs are really, really stiff. Well, both of them not so much anymore. Usually my right leg isn't stiff. But if my left leg is really stiff, then I might use the cane. But mostly I'm looking for it now, because I was always using it on the stairs, and I haven't. The last couple days I haven't used it on the stairs, but I need the railing. But I can go up with both feet, and I can go down just using the railing. But like I said before, I don't do both feet. I can get all my clothes on by myself, which my knee doesn't bend real well, so getting my pants on is a little difficult. But I can do it. I can almost get in and out of my clawfoot tub by myself. Really, really close now. It's freestanding clawfoot tub. I'm short. The side of the tub comes to my mid-thigh. And I can get in, but there's nothing to hold on to because it's freestanding. And there's a window, and there's paneling, so we can't put a railing because it'll come down. So I have to have my husband to hold on to get into the tub. And yesterday, I pretty much got in by myself. He was there more as a guard to make sure I don't fall, but I couldn't get out. Because after I stand for a few minutes, like I said, even long enough to brush my teeth, my left leg still gets very stiff, and then I can't, I have a hard time getting it out of the tub, to get it over the side. If it was a walk-in shower, no problem. If it was a regular size tub, like not on feet, I would have no problem. But I love my clawfoot tub. And I hope that the people that bought our house don't get rid of it, because it's an antique for sure. It was built with the house, and it's kind of cool. But it did make it a little more difficult for showering, and thank God Roy is there for me, you know. He just gives me a shoulder, and if my leg doesn't go up that high, or I can't bend it right or straighten it enough, he's there for me. So that's really awesome. So anyway, that right now is the big hurdle, is being able to get in and out of the shower by myself and coming down the stairs using both legs. But the knee just doesn't want to go there yet, and it will eventually. I know it will. Just got to work it. And take some ibuprofen. All right. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I don't think there's any more that needs to be, that I know to say, that I could help ease you with, is if you're wanting to do knee surgery and questioning, does it hurt? Yeah. Is it worth it? I think so. Roy thinks so. And like I said, he's a year out now from his first surgery. He's like really, really glad that he's done it. I wish, my only regret for having it done is that I can't get on the ground right now, because I know I would not be able to get back up. My knees are not healed enough to be able to kneel. Some doctors say that you can't kneel after knee surgery. Our surgeon said, sure you can. You know, you might want to wear knee pads, because you've got metal in there. So like metal against a concrete floor, that's going to hurt. But the ability to kneel is there. You can do it, according to my doctor. Roy does need to be able to get on the ground occasionally with his job. But like for me right now, we're trying to pack and I can't get to the bottom cupboards, which used to be my best friends. So that's a little, like, things on the ground are a little difficult. I do have grabbers, but I can bend down and lean over and get stuff off the ground. It's just I can't get on the ground, because getting up would be impossible, which is why I'm really afraid of falling to walk through icy, snowy streets. Even tile floors, you know, because they get real slippery. But you just have to be safe and do what you need to do. So anyway, that's all I have to say for this video, and I hope that the medical part of it helped you if you were having any questions or concerns. But you can always email me, and I'll be glad to talk to you about it. charmedgravingcrochet@gmail.com. There is no E in charmed. Okay, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.